Well, while I have it turned down for putting a new radiator in it, figured I'd do a little overview. This is a Kubota G5200 or D600 out of a Kubota G5200. Has a VZ21 turbo on it. Makes about 15 pounds of boost to 20 pounds depending on how you play with the hydro pedal. All the wiring tucks up under here, and then just in front of that is where the battery goes. The hood pivots or just latches on through there. I have a little quick connector for the headlights there. Then have my turbo drain, goes down to this plate with a nice big hose, make sure it's not restricted at all. And then it comes off of where the oil pressure gauge goes. You just tee off that. And then other than that, I had to obviously make this custom tray here. This plate is custom too because it has John Deere 318 power steering put on it. That's the 318 column, has the 318 cylinder there, goes to the front axle because it wouldn't work with the factory steering. It was just easier to just do power steering. Has the 5-port instead of the 4-port column, and that just tees off this rear end here. The rear end is a 2-speed, has a high-low, is shifted over on that knob right there. And in low, it'll pull anything, and in high, it'll go 15 mile an hour. Here's the throttle and temperature gauge, the switch for the key, and all that. Basically, all the electrical is from the Kubota I pulled this motor out of, and swapped it over on here. Just make it easy for wiring, and I just tucked all the wiring up, tidied it up, make it a little cleaner looking. Had to make a custom dash for it because if anyone knows these 1655 Massey's that this bit is built on has a plastic dash, so if you want to do any modification it would be pretty hard to do right. So I've custom made all this to fit nice and tidy and make it look a lot better. And if you didn't know, a Massey 7 and 8 steering wheel will fit on the John Deere splines pretty perfectly. And then we'll move on back here. This is where my fuel tank is. I run diesel, used motor oil, and gasoline, all sorts of stuff on this, and it just loves it. It doesn't have any issues running it, and I've not had encountered anything with using the used motor oil stuff I do. Every once in a while, I like to switch out from the used motor oil, a tank of that, to a tank of normal diesel. Make sure it cleans out if there's anything in there. This has 2 remotes on it. So this one does my 3-point, and then this one was supposed to do the middle implement cylinder, but since I removed that, I have it going back here to some remotes that just are hanging right here in case I ever find an implement or something I want to use a hydraulic cylinder on. And it worked pretty good. Not too bad to plumb everything. You get to all the hydraulic stuff pretty much right here. The valves, you get plenty of room up under this fender to get to it on the other side. The only drawback with building on a 1655, other than it's perfect for this setup and it sets up pretty nice, is sadly it has 6-bolt rear tires. So all my other tires will not bolt onto this. It has the special 6 lug pattern hubs, so not anything you can do about that. And then the motor has rubber mounts in the front and hard mounted in the back. I did that because the rubber mounts let the motor shake so much that I just prefer to hard mount it. It was a lot easier and seemed to cut the vibration out a whole bunch. Then the drive shaft, this is the stock like rag joint type deal from the Kubota G5200, and I used the drive shaft from it and went all the way back here, cut it in half, and welded this to the 1655 drive shaft. And then that goes back to this coupler here to the which is factory for the Massey 1655, and then it goes just to the rear end. So if there's any unevenness in this, the rag joint and this U-joint back here will take up that slop or the angle or anything wrong with that. So pretty nice setup, works pretty good. I've had this built here for about a year now, I think. The previous setup looked like that. It was pretty ugly. Used a Massey 1450 rear end and frame, and wound up cracking the rear end. Right under here, there's a little drain plug on the bottom of the transmission. Was pulling a full-size 2-bottom plow for a tractor like this, or a little smaller than this, and I hit a rock, and that's what made me have to rebuild this. So last spring I tore it all down, got rid of everything from that old setup, and the only thing that is from that same tractor is I took just the front nose out of that grill and then put it on the 1655 hood, and then this motor is the same and the wiring. Other than that, everything you see here is different. It is not, any of this is not from the same old setup. As you can see, I have one of the old hood pieces set in here just for little wall decoration, remember where it came from. So when I redid this, my whole intentions were to make it the best it could be so I don't have to come back and do it better. And so far, it's been complete in one piece, and I have done nothing to it other than add this electric fan because the old radiator, I think, was a little plugged up. So I tried to get more airflow through that radiator to help keep it cool, and I just couldn't. So had to go to a new radiator, and that's going to be from a Mini Cooper. So here's the setup while it's all torn apart. I can throw some clips in here of how she was running and things we've done with it, like pulling that 8-foot disc back there. We do that every year at our local show. Gets pretty good sight going because all the smoke and everything, people love that. So I'll throw some clips in here of this thing in action, and hopefully this year we'll get it finished up, and next year we'll take it to a tractor pull and see how she does with more boost, because the old setup, or the last time I pulled it, I did not have this bolt up here in this turbo, and if you don't have that bolt in there, it leaks all the boost pressure out. I was told that by one of the guys that messes with these engines and pretty much seen what the breaking point is on it, and he told me you put that bolt in there and it'll make more boost pressure and not leak it all out. So we put that bolt in there, and it went from 5 pounds of boost just when you rev it up and put it under a slight load, all the way to 20 pounds of boost, and makes a total difference. To really woke this little engine up, and well, I'm pretty eager to see how she'll do. So I'll throw the clips back in here and then let you go with the rest of your day.